welcome back to another episode of our life seasons where we talk about the different seasons of life and how we grow through it. I'm your host Wen, you already know it. I always wrap up every episode with a bonus at the end, so be sure to stick till the end, okay? If you have been loving the podcast episodes, do leave a review of this podcast on whichever platform that you're on and let me know which topics are your favorite. Alright, let's jump straight into today's episode on discomfort. If you guys saw this week's Raw Talk on Instagram and on TikTok where I talk about how I see discomfort as a growth path now, it hasn't always been like that, okay? And I want to be honest, I'm still learning how to be comfortable being uncomfortable. I want to be and have always been very honest with you guys about my healing journey and my self-help journey. So here's one of them. Just 2 weeks back, I was experiencing one of the moments or situations where I just felt trapped, suffocated, and really uncomfortable with the current environment that I was in, because there were a lot of moving pieces that is happening in my life right now, and it feels like things were just ramping up so quickly to a point where I just can't keep up, or I just feel like I can't keep up. Okay, so what did I do? Like any other humans out there, I started panicking. I started feeling stressed and really burnt out to a point where it actually affected me physically. I fell sick, so I think 2 episodes back you'll be able to tell from my voice that I had flu and I was just very sick. So obviously, overthinking, imposter syndrome, and nerves were all part of this journey, and this is the truth to it, okay? As much as I always talk about having control over our thoughts, actions, and emotions, this wise version of me was nowhere to be seen when I was going through this discomfort, and of course, eventually, I did manage to tap into this side, but it wasn't immediate. It didn't come immediately, okay? I had to kind of push for it. I had to keep going through this discomfort and allow myself to sit through it and eventually find this side of me where I was so sick and tired of this discomfort and be like, you know what, you can do better than that, okay? And it's okay. The thing I want you guys to know is that we're all humans, right? Trying our best to live the best life that we can in the best way possible. And that itself is commendable. I'm human too, so no matter how long my healing journey has been or how positive I always look like or seem like on our Life Seasons podcast, I have times where I do spiral as well. I have times where I sit in negativity, not knowing or wanting to move away from it, because it feels so good to be in the moment where I'm just, stuck in this in negativity, or allow myself to have this pity party and be like, oh, poor you, poor me type of thing, right? And I know it feels comfortable at that moment, and I'm gonna admit it that I do find comfort in that. And this is just the raw and honest truth of healing. Not every day you're going to be feeling like you're walking on sunshine, because life simply don't work like that, okay? And if you're on this healing journey too, no matter what is it that you're healing from, be it a relationship, friendship, a career, or anything in life, I want you to know that the journey to healing is not a linear path. There will be times where you feel like you have healed completely and you feel amazing and excited about the possibilities of what this life has to offer. But there will also be times where you feel like you're back to square one because your nerves and fears starts to creep up again. This is just the duality of life, the good ones, the good and the bad, the ups and the downs, the joy and the sadness of things, right? Without one, the other wouldn't be appreciated. So I just want you to know that no matter what happens, or if you're on this healing journey, you will realize that it's always this up and down. You will not come to a point in time where you feel like, oh, I've completely healed and things are just, amazing. Everything just looks amazing. That can be your default mode. But what I'm trying to say is that you have to expect times where you feel uncomfortable as well. You have to expect times where you start to feel all these fears creep in again. Because as you level up in life, as you face different scenarios in life, you would feel uncomfortable again, because you are growing again, and we are constantly growing. We want to constantly be growing. That's the whole point of it. And growth comes with discomfort, okay? They're together. You can't be growing and feel comfortable. I've never seen myself growing in my comfort zone. No way, okay? I don't know if others feel the same. I'm pretty sure everyone grows when they're very uncomfortable, because like I said, a lot of times in your comfort zone, there's no space for growth to happen, okay? So this is a really vulnerable moment for me, but I want to share it with you guys so you know that you're not alone on this, and you don't have to be happy all the time, okay? Thinking that true freedom is when you've healed completely is just not it. True happiness and freedom is when you accept the fact that there will be these ups and downs, and you allow yourself to feel it and eventually grow through it. You don't have to dismiss your emotions. Just sit with it and understand where it's coming from and work through it without judgments, okay? So with that said, let's rewind back to 2 weeks ago, okay? Work was picking up for me. I felt behind on our live seasons content because I took a trip to Penang. So for those of you who know, I truly enjoyed myself too much, which I don't regret, okay? It was a good break, a much needed one. And I was there for the weekends, which normally during the weekends I will be filming. It's a time where I am supposed to film for our live seasons, okay, or create content. And when I was there, I just wasn't in a headspace to film or create content because even though I brought all the equipments, right? I brought my phone stand, I bought like the mic there. I just felt like I wasn't in the right headspace to create something that, I don't want to put out there half-assed. So that was why I kind of delayed it till I come back. And you can imagine, like coming back, I'm just like, frantic because every single thing that needs to be done is not done. And yeah, you could just imagine how like much of a negativity I spiral into. So let me just say, I hate this feeling of not being able to keep to my strict schedule for our live season since I'm actually doing this with a full-time job. It's not easy, but it's what I love to do, especially seeing so many of you actually sending me messages that, telling me how our live seasons actually changed your life or impacted little parts of your life. And that's the reason why I do what I do. I love doing our live seasons. And as much as I want to get this straight, as much as you love to do something, as much as you feel like that particular thing is your life path, there will be time where you just dread, or rather there will be time that you're like, oh my god, like have all this fears and nerves and just negativity. It's just normal, okay? I don't get it when people say that, oh, find something that you love to do and you never have to work for a day. That is true to a certain extent, but we don't talk enough about the emotions that comes with it when, you have other things that you need to balance out in life, okay? So don't get me wrong, I really love doing our live seasons, but that was a point in time where I felt like, oh my god, like I needed more time and I just felt like I couldn't properly rest and I felt guilty for resting. But that's not the fun part, right? The not so fun part is actually where I have to juggle between my personal time, work, and our live seasons. And because I felt behind on our live seasons, I started to find something to blame. Obviously, I'm not gonna blame our live seasons because I love it so much. So I started to spiral and overthink whether or not I've actually made the right decision with the job. Okay, I started to question a lot of things. Like, what if I have not decided to take on this role? How nice would it be to be able to just drop everything and go Bali for 6 months? And for those of you who know, I've always wanted to go to Bali for 6 months to just try out the lifestyle, and being able to work on our live seasons full time while traveling has always been my biggest goal, my ultimate goal. Okay, but anyways, all of a sudden, I just felt like I needed to rush, to push, to attain this goal, which I once told myself that I don't have a timeline for this, and I just want to let it flow. And now all of a sudden, I don't know where this come from, I feel a need to rush it because I was super uncomfortable with where I was at in life 2 weeks back, where I felt like I was just so suffocated that I wanted things to go. I wanted to get out of that situation so badly. I just felt like, oh my god, just get me out. Physically and mentally, I was just not there, and I wasn't able to sit with that discomfort. It was so uncomfortable for me, to a point where, like I said, I just shut off. Like, I just tune out and just get me out of here. That was how I felt. And I'm pretty sure some of you, or majority of you, have actually felt this before, or right now even. No matter what you're going through, there will be some sort of discomfort. It's just like the extent of it, right? And my level of discomfort just reached like the max 2 weeks back, and I just couldn't like get out of it for some reason. So I was really frustrated by it. So yes, this is not a very pretty side of life and not my best side, but it's the truth, okay? That's why I say it's a very vulnerable moment for me. And I want to share it with you guys. During this 2 week, the thought of seeing that discomfort as a growth route was not an option for me, because amongst this discomfort that I felt, all I wanted to do, or all I remember that I wanted to do, was to seek comfort. And in that time, the only comfort that I could seek from was self-pity and negativity, or rather the only comfort that I want to seek from was self-pity and negativity. Yes, I know it sounds weird and funny how it's possible for us to want to seek comfort in negativity, when it's like negativity should be something that you run away from. But know that when you feel uncomfortable, negativity and self-pity is the first thing that you run towards. Okay, and let me explain the reasons why we avoid discomfort by being in negativity and self-pity is because number one, we naturally avoid discomfort because it's a survival thing, right? Discomfort sends a signal to our body and our mind indicating that this is danger, be it in forms of physical pain or emotional distress. So by steering clear of discomfort, we allow ourselves to think that we actually feel a sense of immediate safety by running away from it, right? Which is only a temporary thing, but we don't see it. So avoiding discomfort actually gives us a false sense of security amongst like the chaos that we're facing at that moment. It gives us a sense of familiarity, right? Negativity used to be my default response to discomfort, and I feel like a majority of the people is like that as well. It's a familiar territory, even if it's unpleasant, because I know what to expect from this negativity. Whereas, if I were to be asked to look at a new approach to that situation, which is to find the lesson in it, it is always a question mark. It's uncertain, and we dislike uncertainty. Because we dislike uncertainty, we avoid it as a form of us trying to protect ourselves from getting hurt by anticipating it and preparing ourselves beforehand, right? We use negativity as a shield. So we assume a negative outcome and we trick ourselves into thinking that, it'll lessen the emotional blow if we actually prepare for the worst case scenario to actually happen, which most of the time, if you know, it won't happen. Okay, we just like to overthink things. So last reason why we seek comfort in negativity and discomfort is because it'll make you feel like you're in control. We all want to be in control in one way or another, right? Or feel like, we're in control, especially the moment where we feel discomfort. Our survival instincts kicks in and immediately we dwell on the negative possibilities and feel like we're taking control of the situation by mentally preparing ourselves for the worst, right? Same thing back to the uncertainty thing. This is an illusion of control, but it feels better at the moment than feeling powerless in an uncomfortable situation, right? That's why we would think that staying in negativity at that moment is a better choice, which is not true. Here's the real security blanket, okay? By acknowledging your discomfort and approaching the situation with a growth mindset, you actually open yourself up for possibilities and solutions. You might be surprised by your own resilience and ability to actually handle things. But I know it's very hard to try to have this growth mindset, because even for me, like, I know it's all at the back of my mind, but when uncertainty really happens, or rather when uncomfortable situations really happen, and when you're put in an uncomfortable situation and you just feel discomfort, all you can think of is to run in the direction of negativity. And that is okay. Like, just know that at some point you've got to bring out this growth mindset and allow yourself to look at the possibilities, okay? So while negativity might feel safe in the short term, it keeps us stuck. Positivity isn't about ignoring problems, okay? It's about acknowledging, embracing, and trusting not only in yourself but also in the universe that this is the true path to security and peace, okay? So the next time that you are feeling discomfort, or even now, I hope you remind yourself that by choosing to stay in negativity, it limits your growth, because significant growth often lies just outside of our comfort zone, okay? We gotta get out of our comfort zone for us to start growing. By always avoiding discomfort, you'll miss opportunities to actually learn the lessons that the universe is trying to teach you, so that you can actually get onto the next level and develop skill sets that will get you closer to your desires. Also, focusing on the negative reinforces negative thinking patterns, okay? Simply put, whatever you focus on, you attract more of. So the more you dwell on what's wrong, why it happened to you, the harder it is for you to see the possibilities and the bigger purpose of this situation, okay? So I'm all about tangible steps. I'm not gonna just sit here and be telling you why you feel uncomfortable, or rather, like, why you go to negativity when you feel discomfort, and leaving you out thinking about the how, okay? I'm not gonna do that. So here's how you can actually flip the script and go from facing discomfort to moving through it, okay? First, it's probably gonna sound really crappy advice, but hear me out on this. Learn to sit in the discomfort. Sit through it no matter how uncomfortable it feels and how frustrating it may be, because the version of you that is coming out of this is someone whom you've always looked up to, your higher self, okay? Don't try to rationalize the fears in hopes to rush through it. Don't try to dismiss it and force yourself to feel better as soon as possible. Just sit with it. Breathe through this discomfort. What helped me, or rather what I found helped me, like, was really useful, was when I was feeling discomfort 2 weeks back, this exercise that I did really, really helped me. I sat myself on my bed, no music, nothing, just me, myself, and Honestly, feel free to try it now if you're feeling feeling any sort of discomfort or going through some sort of discomfort in your life right now. Try it. It's a very simple exercise yet very powerful one that you should learn. Okay, so I want you to start taking 3 deep breaths, and I'm talking about like stomach deep, like really deep, because chances of you not breathing properly with this fear and discomfort that you're going through currently is very high. So I want you to take the time to breathe super deep right now. Just breathe. Okay, breathe it. Feel your chest expand and your stomach filled with all the air that you just took in. Do it now. Try it. Let me do it with you, okay? Breathe. And then I want you to exhale and feel all the nerves washing out of your body. Just imagine it, washing out of your body slowly. This is to actually help you regulate your emotions. Don't think, just focus on breathing deep. Focus on your breath. So do more than 3 times if you need. And if you're still not feeling somewhat calmer than before, I want you to keep doing it until you feel like, you're more conscious about how you feel more calm, your heart rate is, regulated, okay? And as you continue to breathe, I want you to tap your heart lightly and repeat this mantra. You're okay, it's all going to come to an end. It has to come to an end. Okay, keep doing it. I'll show you. If you're on the video version, okay, this is how you're gonna do it, alright? You're gonna continue breathing, and you're gonna place your hand on your heart lightly and just start tapping. And this is what you're gonna do, okay? You're gonna breathe. You're okay. It's all going to come to an end. It has to come to an end. Keep doing it, reassuring yourself until you actually believe that it's all going to come to an end, okay? Make sure that you really feel this calmness. Keep doing it, okay? Just keep tapping lightly. And this is assurance for yourself. So now, after this step comes the next one. And which is after, acknowledging all your feelings. This is a part where it's really tough, but you gotta stick through it, okay? But it's very much needed. This path, or rather this step, is very, very, very much needed to help you to finally move forward, okay? And that is to challenge your narrative. Imagine yourself having a chat with your discomfort who is sitting opposite you right now, okay? Use anything to help you to visualize this discomfort, whether it's the person that's making you feel uncomfortable or anything that relates to the situation that brings you these nerves, fears, and discomfort. I want you to imagine them sitting in front of you right now. I want you to recognize that discomfort is normal. It doesn't have to control you, okay? So this is the conversation that you're gonna have. What is it that is actually making me feel uncomfortable? Is it the fear of failure? Is it the doubt from making that particular decision? Is it the feeling of not knowing what to do next? Is it the frustration of not having control over that situation? What is it? I want you to look at your discomfort in the eye and ask yourself this question. So I want you to bring all your discomfort to light. Okay, there can be a lot of reasons why you're uncomfortable. Just bring every single one of them to light. This is a time where you start to be really honest with yourself and bring out any emotions or thoughts that you have, big or small, and work through it, okay? One by one. I know it's gonna be very uncomfortable. This is gonna be part of your discomfort, but it's also your first step to actually moving through it, all right? So instead of, I'm afraid I'm not good enough for this, try, this makes me uncomfortable only because it's important and it's unfamiliar. And this is a chance for growth. Instead of, what if I made the wrong decision? Try, that decision was made for a reason, and even if it brings me discomfort, there is nothing that I can do about it but to see what lessons it's trying to teach me. I open myself up for receiving the lesson. Instead of, I don't know what to do with this situation with myself, try, I know I'm feeling really uncomfortable right now because I feel like this is out of my control, and that's okay. If there's nothing that I can do about it right now, I am willing to trust that this will take care of itself. It will all come to an end. Challenge and change your narrative to help you regulate these nerves, fears, and frustrations that you have, because most of the time that we're uncomfortable, it means that it is a new situation, but not a new emotion, okay? Every emotion that we are facing or feeling when we're uncomfortable, regardless of how new that situation is, basically your emotions, essentially, it's still the same. You have actually felt these emotions before, just in a different form, in a different way, okay? Which means you have gone through these emotions before and you can go through it again. It is a signal, not a stop sign, okay? The same lessons or emotions pop up again only because the universe feels like you have not learned the lesson yet. That's all. Discomfort often tells us we are pushing our boundaries and potentially growing. So instead of fearing it, I want you to view it as a sign that you're on the right track. View it as a prompt to start taking action and not a reason to shut down. Okay? Which leads me to this question. Have you ever trusted the universe so much that you can literally trust that whatever happens will lead you to where you want to be or to even a better place than what you expected yourself to be in? And I'm not talking about the surface level of, whatever, I believe in the universe, I believe in the higher power. I'm talking about this pure trust that comes from deep within you, from the soul and a true mastery of letting go of a need to control a certain outcome. Okay, understanding that things are in the works for you to achieve all that you ever wanted. You just need to get out of your own way and let the universe, your spirit guides, whatever you believe in, to do the work for you. Now, if you don't believe in any of those, that's okay. Then trust that the effort that you put in is enough to get you to where you want to be. Be in this state of flow and happiness, okay? Trust that the universe or in yourself so much that you're no longer faced by the discomfort from the challenges that are presented to you. That you no longer hold on to the worst case scenario. That you no longer spiral into a state of panic at the slightest discomfort in life. Because you trust you. You trust that in this moment of discomfort, you're actually receiving all you need to guide you to the next level of life. Your desires, okay? This is flow. This is freedom, and this is the life made possible for you. Alright, so as promised, here's a message I have for you. For those of you who have stayed, I really do appreciate you. So here we go. I really hope that, by the end of the year, you would look at all this discomfort that you faced in this year and be so proud of how far you've come. The most amazing feeling is to be able to tell yourself that I've chose to trust myself this year and it was the best decision ever. This shit actually works, okay? This, my love, is an amazing feeling to feel, and I want you to feel that because trust me, once you feel this, you'll continue to ride the high of the positivity and possibilities of what this life has to offer to you and what the universe has in store for you. You'll start discovering your life purpose and everything will start falling into place properly, okay? And this ability to sit through discomfort and growth will benefit you in many aspects of your life, from your relationships to career to friendships to how you treat yourself and how you think of yourself, okay? So that's all for today's episode. I hope you actually try out the exercise, the breathing exercise. And if you have any burning questions or topics that you want me to cover, please feel free to drop me a DM on Instagram at our live seasons or comment on whichever platform that you're on so I can get back to you. Alright, so I'll see you in the next one.